lot of things were going through my head. One was relief. You know, the seminary formation journey is over, and here we are. It's time, because the next phase of the formation journey begins, that of a priest.
I think some of us were feeling a little amped. I think most of us were just feeling joy and happy.
It was not a joy that was just of sensational feelings of sentiment, but it was the joy and peace in which the Holy Spirit would be the only one that would be able to give that, so that we can continue on that work, but also enjoy and embrace and really enter into that moment of ordination.
Throughout seminary, you anticipate that day and you experience a lot of emotions as you discern. The fears, the worries, the hopes. It was really just excitement at stepping into this role that the Lord has prepared me for.
It's a responsibility that's more than any one person can handle. That it's more than, so only with God's help can we do what we do, and we have to give ourselves over to that.
All of us are waiting for that one moment that's about to come, and all of the years that we've had in preparation, I think we've had together and combined over 40 years of seminary in preparation for that moment. So we were pretty excited overall.
There was definitely an awareness of what was about to happen and how big of a deal this was. Shortly before they called us out, we took some time to just pray together one last time before the ordination, and yeah, that really helped prepare me for what we were about to experience and participate in.
Everyone made it in? Yeah.
Laying prostrate whenever they do the Litany of the Saints. It's a good physical representation of the metaphorical, laying down our life for Christ.
Within the ordination rite, there's a lot of beautiful moments. I think one of them that stands out is the laying on of hands. The bishop will lay his hands on your head, and then all priests present will come by and also place their hands on your head, as they had hands placed on their head, going back all the way to the time of the apostles.
These, my brothers, or soon-to-be brothers, are here to help me, to support me, and to guide me through the rest of my ministry, the rest of my life as a priest.
The realization of not only what I've done in preparation for this, but how many other people were involved in this process really gave me a great sense of appreciation for all that God's done for me in my life through these people.
And what it means to be a church was all present there for the ordination, the people gathering, the community, all under the guidance of Bishop Olson.
It was like tying the bow, even though theologically it's the beginning.
Walk the journey with them. Happy to, that we were there together. One chapter was closed. That chapter was closed specifically, and then another was opening. So.
Underneath it all, I was reminded of something that I had read when I was doing my master's thesis. It was something that Joseph Ratzinger had written shortly after his ordination as a priest. He had returned to his hometown after his ordination and was met with cheering crowds and people lining the streets, and they gave him a big parade to the church and banners hanging everywhere and all that. And he was looking around and felt overwhelmed, and he had to keep putting his head down and reminding himself, Joseph, this is not about you. Joseph, this is not about you. And so that was with the same thing that was going through my head. All of this that's going on for us today is really not about us. It's really about the holy and sacred priesthood of Jesus Christ. I'm just a part of that.
This is the time to go serve. People are asking you for blessings, for prayers. They're celebrating with you. They're also asking you for help, almost immediately.
It feels like I'm exactly who I'm supposed to be.
Creature of salt, I exercise you by the living God, by the true God, by the holy God. Speak through your life and prosper.
Yeah, so we moved the. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, hello, hello. So, do you want?
You don't want to use two for your first one? We'll use one. It has a nice Pentecost insert, so we'll use it.
I'm doing in this moment. I'm confecting the Eucharist. I'm, petitioning the Lord for mercy for his people, giving thanks to God on behalf of his people.
Just trying to remember all of the different parts of the Mass and making sure that there wasn't anything that I was going to miss or mess up or something that I haven't thought of before.
To some degree, we're all aware that we're inadequate for the task, but whenever you're up in front of people as opposed to just saying, everything's fine in your room, you can go through it all the time, perfectly every time, and then get in front of a crowd and it's, where's the book? It's in front of me. Okay, all right, I'll search.
But there are a few small things that people are coming up and saying, Father, what would you like for X or whatever it was, and it was a little surreal. Then we're like, oh man, I'm the guy in charge here. I'm the one celebrating the Mass.
Celebrating Mass, and particularly during the consecration and the Eucharistic prayer, that it still required me to have faith and to make an act of faith in the moment. This is Jesus, and I believe that.
Just remember, all of the other priests who are here, we're standing behind you to pray with you. All you have to do is pray, and we'll pray with you. And that immediately kind of set my nerves at ease and got me ready to celebrate the Mass.
I was very excited, kind of proud to be home, to be at my home parish and walking from under the balcony and seeing the church kind of from a new perspective as the presider of that Mass.
Approaching the altar for the first time and giving it the kiss of reverence, and then the server's holding the book for me, and I raise my hands and take a deep breath, close my eyes for a moment for peace, and start in the name of the Father and of the Son. And it's got to be the Holy Spirit of God guiding me. All the anxieties I had, any of the fears that I had, I don't know if you could properly call it stage fright, maybe, I don't know. All that washed away, and once the Mass had started, I knew I wasn't alone.
A very special experience to him, and through many moments as he may bring.
Oh, it's not. No, it's not.
I could definitely feel me stand up straighter. I could definitely feel just an immense sense of joy.
It's a sense of honor to be able to trusted with this task by Christ.
It's his church. I'm just his instrument and just as someone to make present his love and his compassion. And so to be able to hear his call, discern his call, and to continue to bring him to those people is what I'm called to do and what I'm going to do. And yes, it's going to be challenging, and yes, it's going to be difficult. Sometimes it's going to be restless nights and stress, but just at the end of the day, the reminder that it's God's call, and I can take it one day at a time and take everything as a challenge.
Certainty in the vocation isn't really possible in the sense that you can have like mathematical certainty that you are supposed to be a priest, but certainty in trusting that God is directing you to this, and asking him for the ability to say yes to that and to say yes daily.
Everything changes. From this point on, everything's different. We're different. The way everybody sees us is different. The way we see everybody now must be different as well. And so I spent a lot of my silent times praying that I would be a good pastor to my flock, a good shepherd, and that God would help me to love them as he loves them.